So I've been waiting to share this with you. Today is, as Marzi said, it's a traumatic day, but there's inspiration, tremendous inspiration. We're going to get in the bus in just a few minutes and go and see the area, but I want to tell you a story. This is a book I highly recommend. I'm only about halfway through it. It was written in Hebrew, it's been translated into English. One Day in October, 40 Heroes, 40 Stories. Page 69. Usually Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, is just for Jews, but in my opinion, from now on, October 7th, that Black Sabbath should be turned into a day like Yom Kippur. A Yom Kippur for all Israelis, not just for Jews. It should be for anyone who lives and breathes in the state of Israel, Arabs, Bedouins, Christians, Druze, or Jews, because we all went through it together. It's everyone's story. It has to be a hard day, the one that we'll create. Just like you're not allowed to drive or eat on Yom Kippur, they need to make that day exactly the same thing. In my opinion, that's what has to be done. To make a new Yom Kippur in October, a Yom Kippur for all of us, not just Jews. My name is Yousef. I'm 47. I live in a Bedouin town next to Rahat. I'm married with 7 children and 2 grandchildren, a baby girl and a baby boy. But I look far too young to be a grandfather. You'd never guess it. Originally, I worked as a maintenance man, but 20 years ago, I realized that I love the road, I love to drive, so I was drawn to work in transportation. I started driving all the different kinds of people, school kids from communities in the South, workers that have to get to their jobs in the kibbutzim, all that kind of thing. I'm an Arab, Bedouin, Muslim, Israeli, and I'm proud to be Israeli. I really wanted my son to enlist in the IDF, but when he went to get tested, they deferred his enlistment and deferred it again and kept deferring until he was 20 years old, and in the end, they didn't let him join up. But I wanted it. I pushed him to go. A lot of our family served in the police. We've got investigators, detectives, workers in the Ministry of Education, doctors, farmers. We're Bedouin Muslims, and we're also Israeli. My oldest daughter is finishing up her nursing studies now. Yes, she is. I've invested a lot in her studies. I would have invested in my second daughter's studies too, but I saw she wasn't as serious. She wasn't really so into it. So I said, it's your decision. I'm not far from the old generation, the old-fashioned generation. My girls are liberated and can get a proper education. I got them driver's licenses too. My wife also drives, but they know the limits. There are certain limits. It's how our chamula, our clan, works. Most of the young people from our chamula work in kibbutzim, in the Gaza envelope. If it had happened on Wednesday and not on Saturday, those Hamas pigs would have gone and killed my family as well. But they managed to kill my cousins, those pigs. They killed my friend, they took some of my family hostage. Of course, I didn't know that when I did what I did that day. Only later I found out what they did. My story of the Black Sabbath actually begins the night before. At 11 at night, I got a call from a group of young people who know me. They called me and said, Yossi, we want to go out to a party. Can you pop us over to the Nova Festival in Re'im? I said, sure, why not? So I came. First, I picked up some young people from the town of Omer. And after that, I picked up some young women in the town of Givot Bar next to Rahat. And when those young girls got in, I saw them and said to myself, wow, I don't believe it. I know these girls. I was their bus driver when they were in first grade. Terrific girls. And now I look at them. They finished school. They're out of the army. They're going to a party for fun. Nice. We got to Nova and I dropped them off. And I see that there are many, many young people here. Thousands. It's a huge party. And suddenly I see my friend next to me, Abed El-Rahman. He was there with his van. He's also a driver. He also drove a group of kids from the Beersheba area. And Abed said to me, what do you think? What should we do? It was already 1:45 in the morning. So we debated whether we needed to stay there, but in the end we said, let's drive home now. We'll meet them back here at 1 p.m. tomorrow. We'll bring the kids back home. At 6 something in the morning, my wife showed me that my phone is going crazy. Messages, calls, nonstop. A mess. But I said to her, drop it. I'm not at work. It's Saturday. I don't have anything until 1 in the afternoon. But I see that my phone just won't stop, so I figured I should check it out. I pick up the phone and I see the name Amit Hadar on the screen. Amit Hadar is the guy from Omer who hired me to drive him and his friends to the party. I answered, yes, Amit. He shouts at me, Yossi, save us. I said, what happened? What happened? And he said to me, sirens, missiles, there are even rumors about terrorists. I didn't think twice. I got out of bed. I put on my shorts, my hair was sticking up on end, and even though I'm the kind of guy that never goes out before having coffee, I gave up my coffee. I didn't even wash my face. I put on my flip-flops, not shoes. I dashed to my van, and I'm driving. I know that there's no traffic. It's a 25-minute drive from my place to them. I drive through the farming towns to reach Netivot. I see missiles. The sky is full of missiles. And I'm like, whoa, something weird is going on here. I've never seen so many. And I keep going. I'm the kind of guy who gives it all my all. When I started something, I see it through. I got up to Kibbutz Sa'ad, and when I turned left at the traffic circle there to Route 232, and I see a lot of cars coming from the other direction, from Nova, speeding, cutting in front of each other, driving on the shoulder and all that. And everyone is waving their hands, signaling to me with their lights, like, go back, make a U-turn. And I said, this isn't normal, something's up. And I kept driving.